Hi, welcome to Raise Sensation. I'm your host, Dan. This episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be shorter, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some current comics and magazines that I've enjoyed and that maybe aren't on your radar yet, but after I talk about them, maybe you'll be interested. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to start off with this issue of Gutter Hunter. This is only the second issue. It's going to be a annual publication, I believe. It's put out by Robin Bougie, a Canadian cartoonist who I first became familiar with through his exploitation movie fanzine called Cinema Sewer. And that was, it started off as covering a lot of exploitation stuff, but ended up covering in its later issues a lot of porn, which I, quite frankly, wasn't that interested in. But, the great thing about his fanzine was it was all hand-lettered and hand-drawn, and so it was still kind of interesting to see. And so a lot of those issues of that fanzine are out of print, but Fab Press out of England has put together several volumes, best of kind of volumes in book form, and you can look for those. Gutter Hunter is, as it says, approved by the Outlaw Comics Authority. So what are Outlaw Comics? Well, kind of like the Power Comics thing, it's a relatively new term that people have come up with to try and describe things. It's independent comics, and usually ones that would not, for 1 second, be thought of as something put out by the major publishers. There are independent comics that pop up that look like they could be a calling card to get for work at Marvel or DC. This is not for those. I can't really flip through it, and I can't even show you the complete cover. It is adults only. It covers a lot of wild stuff. It's very similar. After the underground comics kind of died, these independent comics kind of came in to fill that space of, things that will shock and amaze you. And this covers those kind of things. There's some really good articles. Both issues are worth getting. So if you're interested and you're not easily offended, I definitely think this is something to check out. And now we go from that to this, which is a comic that I picked up at my local comic shop. It's a sci-fi adventure thing. Does it take place in the future? Does it take place in the fantasy world? Does it take place in the distant past? I don't really know. But I love the artwork. It's very appealing to me. It's got some violence in it. There's some characters being killed. There's some great designs. I love the lizards these bad guys are riding on. I don't know that it's all ages, but I think if you have a young person you think it can handle the action in Adventure Time, then they can do this too. And this is only the first issue. I think they're up to probably issue 5 or so right now. Again, I just really like the art. The story, it's a kind of average sci-fi fantasy kind of thing. But who knows where it's going to go. So, like I said, I like that one. I'm going to mention Earthman again, speaking of Power Comics. You should definitely check this out. Go to Floating World Comics and look this up. It's Earthman. It is a crazy fun self-published comic. This is a reissue. The original was self-published though, and just amazing stuff. This is a lot of fun. very amateurish, but it has a lot of personality, and if that sounds good to you, then go for it. And it's got an awful lot of wrong-headed Christianity preaching in the back too in this crazy comic. So again, take a look for Earthman. And also, this is the other Power comic. Actually, they've put out about half dozen so far, and all the Power comics are worth checking out, but these two are my favorites. And this is Lance Stanton, and it's another post-apocalyptic, maybe, comic with crazy, weird art, either inspired by Kirby or at least, the guys who followed Kirby and were aping Kirby style. Really great stuff. So go to Floating World website and check that out. This is a magazine called Study Group, and it's got interviews with comics creators. It's also got a lot of, now hopefully this will show up okay, it's very shiny. I do like, when they reissue comics, a lot of times old comics, they'll print them on slick paper as opposed to the newsprint, and then they'll recolor them. If you're doing old comics and you can afford to, the best way to do it, I think, is to take photographs of it and print those photographs so that you have that original color. I just think that looks so good. And so this is an old comic that they decided to reprint. That my glass all the way there. Like I said, there's interviews with comics creators. There's new comics by new guys, and I think some of these people, some of these comics are really great. So it's all good. It's all good. Oh, here's a couple of these articles are like the Kirby's Mentors thing. This subject's kind of been done before. I don't know that this adds anything to the conversation, but if you're not familiar with the idea about these older artists who inspired Kirby, I think it's pretty interesting. And again, I like this photograph of the Kirby book, keeping that original coloring. It's all good there. So I won't go through the whole thing, but lots of great. Oh, I really like this comic too. A Week of Adventure. I won't give away what happens in it, but that's a really fun comic. This is a reissue. It collects together all the individual issues of a comic called Dynamite Diva, created by Jasper Jubenville, I think is how you say that. And this reminds me a lot, the artwork in this reminds me a lot of the cartoonists, the kind of, what I think at the time you kind of called the new wave artists of like the 80s and 90s. It kind of reminds me of that, a little bit inspired by like somebody like Gary Panter. I mean, the lead character is supposed to be irresistibly sexy kind of thing, and also wildly violent. I don't know that too many people will find this artwork of her too sexy. Well, they have some pinups here. It's like she's Betty Boop by way of the exploitation movie They Call Her One Eye. And it's just got all kinds of great stuff in it. These characters are just a slither face. He has snake tongues for eyes. All kinds of. I can't wait to read about her meeting all these, and there's the cutout of her secret hideout. There was a really early issue of the Fantastic Four where Kirby did a cutaway and showed the Fantastic Four and all the things that went on there. And it's, you know, so you go. Somebody made toys of some of the characters. Anyway, so that's a great one to look for. It's a lot of fun. The stories are very retro, with nods to current things going on. And there's a Hunter S. Thompson character makes an appearance. I love the art. I love the art. And the stories are very, very funny. And the last thing, well, not the last, next to last, I'm also a big fan of old paperbacks. I used to read them a lot when I was younger. I don't read or collect them that much anymore. Let's say that I still do some. But what I do like is this book, this magazine, The Paperback Fanatic. It's up to issue number 46 now. It's a great, great magazine. It was originally offset print, and then it went to print on demand. So the earlier issues are all out of print, but now the print on demand, of course, can be ordered forever. Well, until they take them down. I'm just kidding. But I love this. They cover paperbacks, but they also cover some comics too. And here's book reviews. And what I like about this is I don't have that collecting bug for this stuff anymore. I don't have the time or money to do it. But I love to see them. I love to read about them. It brings back a lot of memories seeing some of this stuff. Now, like I say, the author publisher is based out of England. So there is a slant to some of these of being the British editions as opposed to the ones you might recognize from here in America. But a lot of it is American too, and it's just fantastic stuff. I love to look at this stuff. Yeah. There's an article about Conan, paperbacks, just a lot of stuff. And like I said, it's available on Amazon now. So, there's a print on demand. So if this looks up your alley, there you go. And the last thing I'll talk about is a current manga series, Die Dark. I'm not going to try and pronounce the woman who does this. I'm not going to try and do her name. I think they're up to issue 5 now. And it's a fun sci-fi kind of horror, sci-fi horror kind of thing. It's a space set in space, and she's building up quite a little world here of it mostly follows these two characters. One is a young man who's got a fabulous suit that pretty much helps him out in everything he does. It's like, there it is as a backpack. That's the suit. There's the young man without his suit. And look at those. Look at those images. And he's good friends with someone who's death personified. And is a very powerful being in this world. And where's that at? Oh, there's the character as a kid. He's supposed to be, it looks like he's a teen or maybe early 20s in the stuff set in the current day. Just all this wacky sci-fi stuff. The thing is, it's really, I guess I'm not revealing it. It's really a very funny. There's a lot of funny stuff in it. humorous bits and you know, grotesque monsters, weird inventions. Like I said, oh, and there's what death looks like. An attractive young girl, although she's apparently a lot older than she looks. There she is, out of her outfit. These weird get up. Anyway, it's called Die Dark, and it's a lot of fun. That's all for now. Let me know if you like this one.